Welcome to the show. Mason's got the memes. He's here to let you know life ain't what it seems. Jank Mason spreads the truth, exposing all the lore. Deceptions on the loose, evil will explore.
And welcome. It is Jake Mason right here with Mason's Memes, where we find all the truth-based memes that are going around on the internet. But tonight, I have a special, and I want to show this. Kamala in her interview with Jimmy Kimmel, I think. And let's get into this and see what's going on a little bit behind the scenes here.
All right, so I want to start with reproductive rights.
Yes.
You're for them, yes?
Indeed.
Yes. I had a feeling I knew that about you. I learned a little bit about you beforehand.
Oh.
They are being threatened. I mean, not just threatened, but, you know, Roe versus Wade. We know what happened with the Supreme Court. It is this something that you ever imagined would happen in your lifetime?
Absolutely not. Although I was raised to understand that the rights that we fight for will not be permanent unless we are vigilant in fighting for them to continue.
What?
You know, but the thought that
Yeah, we know that. What did that have to do with his question?
almost 2 years ago, the highest court in our land took a constitutional right from the people of America, from the women of America.
They did or the government did? Which one? That's what I'm asking.
And understand who is to blame. The
Who?
former President Donald Trump
Oh, here we go.
handpicked
Here we
three
go.
members of the United States Supreme Court with
This is how they do it. This is how they do the divide and conquer, folks. You haven't woken up to this. Manipulation. Donald Trump put these people, and then it's, you know, the other dudes they got. And it's always an odd number, right? So you can never have a balance. They say that that extra person is a tiebreaker. But listen to what she is saying here. That court took away. No, it was the government. Isn't it supposed to work in unison?
the intention
Just
that they would
asking.
undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did
yeah.
as he intended. And after that, in state after state, laws have been passed to criminalize doctors and nurses. There's a state that provides for prison for life for a doctor administering care. State after state,
What?
making no exception for rape or incest. People know I started my
Oh boy, here we go. I guess that means the state boards aren't doing their jobs. True?
career as a prosecutor. You may not know why. One of the reasons is my best friend in high school,
Uh-oh.
I learned was being molested by her stepfather.
Oh, okay.
So she came to live with us, and I decided at a young age I wanted to do the work of fighting to protect women and children from harm.
Okay, that's honorable. Why didn't you continue in that line of work? Maybe be a therapist? Somebody that would actually help people? Social worker? No. We got to do this president thing.
And the idea that these laws would make no exception even for a survivor of a violation to their body, and to
A survivor of a violation. Okay, let's go on.
tell that woman, that person, you don't have a right to make a decision about what happens to your body next.
Wow. Unreal, guys. Evil always is hypocritical. Think back to COVID and the mandates, government mandates. Think about this. Now they're telling you, oh, we care about your body. Oh, by the way, I didn't say this. This is not a left or right wing show. It's the truth. Most are awakening to this stuff right now. All this deception crap. I like doing my show because I pointed out in the hypocrisy that's going on. That's the way I kind of help people realize the deception. Let's go on.
It's immoral.
Yeah, it is.
And I think most of us agree.
Why did you do it in the pandemic? Why didn't you let those people have the right to choose? Huh? All them government people getting that experimental stuff. I'm going to say it. I know what it is. Bunch of devil juice.
One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree the government should not be telling her what to do with her body.
Bam. I'm sorry. That's automatic. That's from another truther who I greatly admire. But that's just a reflex I have. But did you hear what she said? Wow. See, evil always does things. This whole system is evil, folks. When you realize the deeper levels of this stuff, it's all friggin' evil. And people are waking up to this. I'm so happy to be a part of it.
And to add on that, additionally, I think we're very focused on abortion, but this certainly affects birth control as well, contraception.
Absolutely.
I don't think most people know that. I don't think people are thinking about that, about the fact that they very well might not be able to get birth control in the states they live in.
Well, but remember, in that decision that undid the protections of Roe, Clarence Thomas said the quiet part out loud, that contraception could very much be at risk, and it is at risk. And
everything's at risk. Not this. We have so much deeper stuff going on. But see, they use this topic in the left-right divide. It'll never be settled. People feel strongly one way or the other. And the government knows this. Same as they play you on the left and the right. That's how the trickery goes on here.
let's understand moving forward, not only is that at risk, look at IVF and what has happened and how clinics have closed because of fear that they may be violating the law to prevent.
Ah, boy. Word salad up in here. Violating the law. Come on.
Provide IVF treatment. What is happening in terms of those who are basically calling for a national abortion ban? By the way, everybody in like New York and California don't feel so safe and secure because if there's a national ban, nobody will be safe from the government telling them what to do with their own body. And remember,
I love the hypocrisy. It's in plain view. If you can't see this beyond your political beliefs and feelings, you got some waking up to do. Some big waking up to do.
remember, when Donald Trump was president,
There it is again.
he supported a national ban and said he would sign it.
They do this. The other side does exactly the opposite of the other. And get your mind all twisted up in this stuff. Then they put them on late night TV with these characters. And then put it in your mind again.
And if I had to guess, if he were president again, that's exactly what he would do.
Do you
That's an assumption. You don't know that as fact.
think there's a fundamental flaw in our system when a body
There's a
like
lot
the
of them.
Supreme Court can make a decision that is so unpopular with Americans? I'm
Unpopular or unconstitutional? Which one is it?
still the vast majority of Americans certainly believe in a woman's right to choose, and especially, I think it's 88% support access to contraception.
Well, in our history, no. I mean, look at the Dred Scott decision. I mean, this is not the first
Dred
time
Scott decision?
that we know the court can make decisions that violate the civil rights of the people.
Then it's unconstitutional. Then it goes through the other branches supposedly to correct it. Who doesn't know this? Huh? Left or right? This is all garbage.
But this is when we have to praise the fact that we still
Praise.
have an intact democracy with 3 co-equal branches of government.
Okay, you just said it. It's not a democracy. That's a term they made up. Democracy. It's supposed to be a constitutional republic. That's what I thought. Let's go on here.
So what the Supreme Court took away, Congress can put back in place. And that's where
Checks
the
and
people come in
balances, right?
with your right to then elect the people in the United States Congress who will fight and protect your freedom and put aside their personal opinion about what's best for themselves or their family and let you make the decision that's best for you and your family.
Now, I'm going to point out something. Notice what she just said. We elect. Do we really elect all the branches of our government? Obviously not. Think about this here. We do not have an equal branch, elected by the people. We don't. We don't even have that here in this country. Let's see what else she says. Oh, applause sign.
That do you think that voters are aware that their health care could very easily be taken away? And I'm talking about general health care.
I think that we need to keep talking about it. Again,
What?
we have an election coming up in 154 days.
We know that.
The previous president
There
who was
it is.
running for election again,
Yeah, we know that.
when he was president, supported and fanned the flames of at least 60 attempts to undo the Affordable Care Act. Let's remember what the Affordable Care Act did.
What
Among
is
many
it?
things, it said a pre-existing health condition cannot be the basis of a health insurance company denying you coverage.
And the lifetime caps on coverage that existed are no longer because of the Affordable Care Act. But do you
That is not true. If these are legitimate concerns that these insurance companies are doing, all you would have to do is pass legislation. True? You don't need to have a whole Affordable Care Act that requires you to carry health insurance. Think about this. This is how they do policy, folks. This is how they get us. They get us by saying it's good for you. It's done all this great stuff. But behind it, there's an agenda.
you think, because I feel like this would be one of those things that the Republicans would regret taking away, because the people who supported them would feel this in a real way.
Well, I think they're going to regret what they did on the issue of abortion. Mm-hmm. And you could see that when you look at the midterms that happened last year, when you look at the special elections in so-called red and so-called blue states.
Well, I don't like red and blue states. I like United States. How about you?
Around this country, from Kansas
Something's
to
wrong
California,
here.
Ohio, Virginia, when freedom was on the ballot, the American people voted for freedom.
God, help us. When it was on the I got to go back and hear this again with their Freemasonic symbolism on. Let's see what she just said.
California, Ohio, Virginia.
Okay.
When freedom was on the ballot, the American people voted for freedom.
Oh my God, we are so doomed. Oh God. If you don't get what I'm laughing at, something's wrong with you.
Similarly, I believe and know, and I've traveled throughout our country, the American people know that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it.
That did not improve access to nothing. All it did was put in place high insurance benefit, payment, premiums, deductibles. It's a scam.
And if you start messing with people's ability to have access to health care, I think they're going to tell folks at the ballot box where to go.
Oh, you think so? Really? All right, I'm going to go on just a little bit because I feel my voice is getting hoarse and I don't want to wear it out before the main event. Let's go on here. Just a little bit.
Well, we need to be aware of these things. I'm glad you're making
We
us
need to be aware of them.
What does the number 34 mean to you? You know what? Let's take a break and then we'll find out.
I
the
know.
Vice President Kamala Harris is with us. We'll be right back.
All right. All right. Should I go on just a little bit more? Can I keep this going? Let's do it.
Kamala Harris. Have you ever met Donald Trump?
No.
You've not? Wow, that's something.
Bull crap. You know each other. Don't be lying, Kamala.
Else.
Don't be lying.
When the verdict was announced, how did you get that information?
Rapidly.
Rapidly.
Are you watching TV or are you somebody relaying this to you?
Well, that kind of news, usually it's a combination of, there are TVs everywhere I am
There's TVs. Oh, my God.
if I'm in the office.
Oh, Lord.
And then folks come in. So
You know, the people in the room pretending to not be happy, or how does that go?
I mean, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
just to kind of really level set, let's think about this.
What? Boy, this is something. I'm going to tell you, folks, when the truth comes out, your mind is going to be blown to smithereens. I hate to tell you that.
A jury of 12 people, peers,
Oh, Lord.
over the course of 6 weeks, deliberated on the evidence and facts,
Yeah.
and unanimously determined guilt for 34 felony counts. There was a defense attorney who actively participated in selecting that jury, who acted.
And now you know what all those court cases were about. Now you know. All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I'm Jack Mason.